बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाए जीरा से MTH का जलजीरा जीरा से
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
On the show tonight, did Mamata Banerjee openly or directly or indirectly warn Hindus that if she's not chief minister, they'll be targeted? At 9 o'clock tonight, why I believe Trump is changing his goalposts. The biggest political controversy is over what Mamata Banerjee has said or not said, or warned or not warned. Let me set the context correctly. Mamata Banerjee has made a speech. The BJP says that in that speech she has warned the Hindu community in Bengal that if she is not the chief minister of Bengal, then the Muslim community will target them. And if the Muslim community surrounds the Hindu community, they will have nowhere to go. And the BJP therefore says that Mamata Banerjee has warned Hindus and said that if they support the BJP too much, they should be prepared for the consequences of being targeted by the Muslim community once she is not in power, if she is not in power. In other words, the BJP claims that Mamata Banerjee is positioning herself as the only politician in Bengal who can control a radicalized part of the Muslim community should they choose to want to target the Hindu community. In other words, the BJP says Mamata Banerjee is playing upon a sense of fear or trying to create a sense of fear among the Hindu community of what will happen to them should she not be in power. And this comment is so provocative, allegedly, that it has gone completely viral. And therefore what I did was I heard the entire speech in Bengali, in Bangla. And there's a very interesting subtext to what she has said. I believe, this may be my belief, that Mamata Banerjee is warning not directly the Hindu community. She, in my view, there's a great possibility she's targeting people from outside Bengal or non-Bangla speaking who are now settled in Bengal, and is telling them that they ought not to support the BJP. They ought not to blame her for opening the floodgates to Muslims from Bangladesh. They ought not to even to get politically involved against her in any way. If you support her, it's fine. If you're against her, she's warning them that they are going to face the consequences. Because in that speech, if you hear the entire speech, she warns a lot of people. She warns central government employees that if you do not support me, if you support the BJP, then remember what will happen to you when we come to power in Delhi, when politics changes in Delhi. So she's going through a series of warnings, and in that series of warnings, she eventually comes across and she says that I have heard, and I do not understand really much of this rambling speech, because like Mamata Banerjee's speeches, they lack logic, they lack substance, they're a diatribe, they're a rant, they're horrible to listen to. They don't seem informed, but that's Mamata Banerjee for you. Ladies and gentlemen, she goes on everyone and she says, see, CBI is against me, ED is against me, IT is against me, CISF is against me, BSF is against me, SSB is against me. And then she says that those people who want to live in a fool's world thinking things will change should remember that in 2026, despite all of this, the people of Bengal will say bye-bye to the BJP. Till this point, it's perfectly all right, because it's a political rant. Where it gets into the area of double speak double meaning. And Mamata is very smart. She doesn't directly say Hindus will be targeted by Muslims if I'm not chief minister. She says, do you know what will happen if one community unites against you? She doesn't say directly the you doesn't mean Hindus, that one community can be a general reference. So she's left herself that legal leeway. And she's a master at doublespeak. Earlier once, recently, addressing a Muslim gathering on the issue of Waqf in Kolkata, she said, do these people know what will happen if all your friends from the villages, which means all the Muslims in rural Bengal, were to come to have muri or just to sit down for a protest in Kolkata peacefully? She indirectly said there are so many Muslims that if they were to come to Kolkata, the streets would be jam-packed. Is that the language? Is that the language of a responsible politician who is now in a state of desperation started suggesting that Hindus can get outnumbered by Muslims? Because that was the subtext of what she said in that. There's no doubt about it. The point is, in this particular instance, this viral clip which the BJP is playing again and again and again, she can be seen to be warning A, outsiders, B, non-Bangla speaking people, because she makes a reference that you people may not know Bangla well. So that seems to be a reference to non-Bangla speaking people. And then she says, in a language of open threat, she says, do you know what will happen when one community unites and surrounds you? That's the verbal language of intimidation. It's a clear warning. Don't work against my political interests or else. Or else. Is this an attempt at trying to physically intimidate people who are influential and who may be against her? Is Mamata Banerjee coming down to open threats? It very much appears so, ladies and gentlemen. It very much appears so. But the bigger issue is this. This is also a narrative which works for the BJP because the BJP needs to polarize the politics in Bengal in order to gain. Remember, in the last election, it was openly suggested that Prashant Kishore, who was then advising and strategizing for Mamata Banerjee, had given her a strategy that gets 70% of 30%. That means 70% of the 30% Muslim vote and 30% of 70%, which means 30% of the 70% Hindu vote if you are to win. This time, Mamata Banerjee needs 90% of 30%, which may be 35 to 40%. And the BJP needs 100% or near 100% or 90% of the Hindu vote, and they have to get the Hindus to vote. So have no doubt about it, this is a polarized and polarizing election. But even if she is now in that 2-month term before the election, Mamata Banerjee has chosen the wrong words. I personally think this politics of intimidation, this attempt at warning people, is a sign of her political desperation. Why Mamata Banerjee is desperate is because there's a growing anti-incumbency against her. It's because the BJP is fighting her harder this time. And she realizes that if she loses, there's going to be no coming back. Therefore, it's a now or never situation for Mamata Banerjee. But can she threaten and intimidate and get away with it? Why has no case been filed against her so far? Why is the BJP only making statements against her? Why don't they go one step further and file a police case against her? Obviously, the Bengal police will never register a case against Mamata Banerjee. If anybody else were to say anything remotely critical of Mamata Banerjee, she files cases against them, against journalists and reporters. But when she says these things, can she get away with it? Food for thought, or should be challenged on every political forum possible, on every public forum possible. Should there be an intellectual challenge to what she has said, a constitutional challenge? These are the facts of the case tonight, and now we debate.
The very controversial viral clip that is being debated across the country is from Kolkata on the 7th of March this year. The event is a political protest against SIR. In a rambling speech, Mamata Banerjee appears extremely provoked by the strong political challenge she's facing in these elections.
যদি নিজেদের 13টা বাজাতে না চান বিজেপির অপপ্রচারে কেউ ভুল বুঝবেন না।
She warns central government officials and says if they help the BJP, they will face the heat after the elections and when the government changes in Delhi.
ওদের সাথে আছে ইডি, ওদের সাথে আছে সিবিআই, ওদের সাথে আছে ইনকাম ট্যাক্স, ওদের সাথে আছে সিআইএসএফ, ওদের সাথে আছে বিএসএফ, ওদের সাথে আছে এসএসবি, ওদের সাথে সব এজেন্সি ভাইরা আছে। কিন্তু যতই এজেন্সি থাকুক আমরা বলি যতই দেখাও ইডি সিবিআই 26-এর ভোটে করবে বাই বাই।
And then she says what has gone viral in what the BJP says is an obvious reference to the Hindu community. She says this.
আমরা আছি বলে না আপনারা সবাই ভালো আছেন, আর যদি আমরা না থাকি কোনোদিন সেরকম আসে 1 সেকেন্ড লাগবে। একটা কমিউনিটি যখন জোট বাঁধে না ঘিরে ফেললে 1 সেকেন্ডে দেবে একদম 12টা বাজিয়ে। যদি নিজেদের 13টা বাজাতে না চান বিজেপির অপপ্রচারে কেউ ভুল বুঝবেন না।
For abundant clarity, we listen to the longer clip and it's clear that she is warning those who are pushing the BJP's agenda and that she seems upset with the growing perception that she opened the floodgates to Muslims from Bangladesh. Listen to the longer clip.
আমরা আছি বলে না আপনারা সবাই ভালো আছেন, আর যদি আমরা না থাকি কোনোদিন সেরকম আসে 1 সেকেন্ড লাগবে। একটা কমিউনিটি যখন জোট বাঁধে না ঘিরে ফেললে 1 সেকেন্ডে দেবে একদম 12টা বাজিয়ে। যদি নিজেদের 13টা বাজাতে না চান বিজেপির অপপ্রচারে কেউ ভুল বুঝবেন না। জেনে রাখবেন বাংলা বেকারদের সাথে আছে, বাংলা হকারদের সাথে আছে, বাংলা রিক্সাওয়ালার সাথে আছে, বাংলা সঙ্গীতজ্ঞদের সাথে আছে, বাংলা টলিউডের সাথে আছে, টলিউডের সাথে আছে, শিক্ষার সাথে আছে, সংস্কৃতির সাথে আছে, সম্প্রীতির সাথে আছে। সব কিছু সুরক্ষিত থাকবে। সব রাজ্যের মানুষ বাংলায় নিশ্চিন্তে ঘুমোতে যান, কেউ আপনাদের ডিস্টার্ব করবেন না। এটা আমাদের সোনার বাংলা। আর বিজেপির কথা শুনে যদি এইসব করতে যান কথা কিন্তু আমাদের কাছেও আসে, সবটাই জানতে পারি। প্লিজ দয়া করে কাউকে হস্টাইল করার চেষ্টা করবেন না। ওদের ধর্ম আলাদা, আমাদের ধর্ম আলাদা।
देखिए, ममता बनर्जी जी की जो क्लिप आज हम मीडिया में देख रहे हैं, सोशल मीडिया में भी चल रहा है, वो बहुत ही निंदनीय है, चिंताजनक है और धमकियों से भरा हुआ है। ममता बनर्जी जी का कहना कि मैं सरकार में हूं, हमारी सरकार है तो आप सुरक्षित है, अगर मैं हट जाऊं 1 सेकंड के लिए तो एक कम्युनिटी आपको घेर करके सेकंडों में समाप्त कर देगी। आप सोचिए ममता बनर्जी क्या कहना चाहती है।
Mamata has done a fair amount of doublespeak if you hear her speech, in a way that can be interpreted by some as a warning to BJP supporters, by others as a warning to those from outside Bengal now settled in the state. To not be accused of directly targeting or warning Hindus, Mamata prefaces every veiled warning with talk of all communities living together. But she's clearly worried about Hindu political unity, which is the BJP's #1 political strategy. In the last election, the reported political strategy of Prashant Kishore, then advising Mamata, was to get 70% of the 30% Muslim vote and 30% of the 70% Muslim vote. This time, with the BJP fighting harder, she needs to get 90% of the Muslim vote, and the BJP needs to get Hindus to vote and capture 90% of the Hindu vote as well.
Did Mamata warn the Hindu community that if she is not brought back to power, then some sections of the Muslim community will unite and target them. Because she says, you know what will happen if one community comes together and surrounds you, then you'll be finished. Barota bajiye debe, which means you will be destroyed. Which community?
Words in her mouth. Arnab, you are putting words.
Be quiet.
I don't putting words and not so smartly.
Which community?
No, Arnab, you said Bangladesh gates will be open. Mamata Banerjee does not control BSF. How can you say that she will open Bangladesh's gate? You mean to say Amit Shah will open
about what the Chief Minister spoke? When we
Just
say
one
that
minute. One will have to speak at a time. Priyanka, wait a while. Let him finish. I want this to be a very focused debate. We have enough time today.
All she means is that BJP spreads hatred and mistrust, and people should not believe BJP. That's
Thank you.
what she said.
Thank you for your opening remarks, Tausif. I now move to Niladri because I now move to Niladri. Tausif, thanks, because you don't have a comma in your
that people should
diction.
not believe the BJP campaign.
Thank you, Tausif. Now Niladri, she says in Bangla, she says that we are there so you are safe. This is what the exact translation is. We are there so you are safe. If we are not there, we exist, that's why you are safe. If we are not there, then if a certain community comes together as a group and surrounds you, ghiriyedai, surrounds you, then they will finish you off in 1 second. Okay? So we are all clear that this is what she has said. There is no question of interpreting, misinterpreting, nothing. My question to you is, Priyanka, you can take this. Which community is she talking about when she says this community, if it unites and surrounds you, then barota bajiye debe? First of all, this undignified language coming from a chief minister is so horrible to hear. My question is...
Barota bajiye debe.
Yeah, one. This is very...
bajiye debe because people like Niladri have kept their mouth shut. Because people like Niladri do not have...
Wait, Niladri, let her finish. Niladri, let her finish.
Let me speak today. Let me speak today. It is because of secular Hindus like Niladri, brother, that today the Chief Minister, who once said that I am very secular, I follow all religion, dharmo, utsav sabar, dharmo sabar, and all that, whatever. But those were only in words. Because today we have seen exactly whom is she trying to, threaten? Whom is she trying to intimidate? That you are safe, you are existing because we exist. It is that Chief Minister who has ministers like Firhad Hakim who had said 50% of Bengal will speak Urdu. Now you understand the emotions.
Okay, here's a question. Yeah, Priyanka, just to be clear, don't speak over each other. Sensitive subject. Now my question is this, please. And please understand, she is warning someone about someone. She's warning someone saying that you are safe as long as I am safe. Is she warning Hindus? Who is this?
Arnab, she's delivering a message to the people of Bengal that don't be polarized and be there because Bengal has existed
to Hindus of Bengal
since long time.
No.
Not Hindus of Bengal.
Not people of Bengal, to Hindus of Bengal.
Don't interrupt. Niladri, only speak to me. See, Niladri, I understand Bangla. We run the biggest Bangla news network there. And I understand English, I understand Hindi. There is no scope. And I've seen the entire speech. I've not seen the part which has been tweeted by BJP. I'm saying she's selling someone, Niladri, that be very careful. As long as I am there, you are safe.
She's selling
if I'm not there, 1 minute. As long as if we are not in power, then one community will come together and surround you and finish you. Now, my question is, Niladri, who is she saying will surround whom? And which community is she warning?
Arnab, this is a message to the people of Bengal, and which community will surround and which community will be there. It is a question you should ask the CM. But she has, in my opinion, she has sent a message to the people of Bengal that don't fall into the trap of BJP, which tries to polarize the country.
No. Yeah, that's not the question. You have every right to say, one minute. See, now I'll bring Priyanka in. Everyone calm down. You have every right to say that don't fall for the political rhetoric of the BJP. Tausif, I don't want your background music, which is very irritating. Please remember, Tausif, I'm getting everyone.
Your translation skills are horrible, and I'm telling you, I'm giving you 0 out of 10. Okay. You don't deserve to come to translate Bengali into English. You are saying Barota Baji Debe means finish off.
What is it? Okay, now you tell me.
Okay. What else does it mean?
One minute. Barota Baji Debe means what? You tell me.
Your translation is skill.
Okay, it does not mean finish off. Now tell me.
0 out of 10.
Tell me.
Your translation, horrible translation.
It doesn't matter. Priyanka, what is the meaning of Barota Baji Debe? If I say...
yes, it matters. You are angry.
What is the meaning of Barota Baji Debe?
It does matter.
Barota Baji Debe in Bengali means
first you have to
shesh kore dibe. Shesh kore dibe.
Shesh kore dibe.
Yani everything bad will be done to you. 12 baj jayega. I will tell you. Why do we say ki 12 baje people don't walk out of the house right when it is 12? Because kuch bhi acha nahi hoga. That is what she said, that Barota Baji Debe puro shesh kore dibe. Tausi, please keep quiet.
No, you are putting
now, which is this one community? She was talking about which is this one community. Jara ek hoye erokom attack korbe je 12টা baji dibe. This is one community. It is this. It is the Muslims. It is those Dudel Guru. She says that who are the cow milk giving cows. She said that they will attack the Hindus and then everything will be finished. See, Arnab, we have seen her ministers like Firhad Hakim. What did they say? That 50% of people in Bengal will speak Urdu.
Priyanka, your translation
Banerjee did not speak
same as
about it. Now,
Priyanka, I will give you 0 out of 10
throw
for
the Hindus in Bhagirathi. That is what exactly the CM is supporting. She wants to show that, see, now that they are growing so much, they are becoming the majority slowly, and that majority will attack the Hindus.
Why are you funding him then? If you are against,
that majority will attack the Hindus.
Why are you funding him? Why are you funding Humayun?
Why are you funding that majority will attack the majority in Bengal.
Okay, now Tuhin, I can bring in Tuhin into the debate so that there is no scope for misinterpretation. I'm bringing in Tuhin, and let's just don't give a parallel conversation here. I'm listening to everyone. I'm talking. I am concerned. And if you're watching my program tonight, ladies and gentlemen, people watching this not just in Bengal, but across the country should be very concerned. What are we seeing here? We are seeing an unhinged rant from a desperate politician who thinks that her political career could face ruin in this election. And what is she saying, Tuhin? She's saying, if I am there, you are safe. Now, you are saying, when she's talking to you, she's referring to Hindus. One. Then she's saying, if I am not there, then a certain community will surround you and Barota Baji Debe, which means you are saying there, she is saying, if the Muslim community will surround you, surround the Hindu community according to your interpretation, and Barota Baji Debe to the Hindu community. Now, one minute. Now, Tuhin, they are saying, Trinamool is saying, she's not using the word Hindu or Muslim.
Yes.
They are saying, so how are you assuming that the community she's threatening is Hindu, and the community she's using to threaten the Hindu community with is Muslim?
I really pity the TMC representatives over here, because, you know, if their CM makes such preposterous, ridiculous comments and they don't even have the courage to ask the CM which community is the CM trying to project as a community of bloodthirsty marauders, you know, I mean, what are they really representing on the, who are they representing over here? They should ask the CM, they should take offense, they should, anyway, let me make my larger point over here.
Niladri, let him make his opening remark.
My larger point. Don't blabber in between.
We are all concerned. Very concerning. You know, Mamata's language,
Arnab,
her talk.
The the kind of desperate, the kind of frantic utterances which not just Mamata Banerjee but entire TMC is making only shows that their days in Bengal are numbered. The comments are very amusing. While on the one hand, Mamata Banerjee has been candid to acknowledge her own sinister motives in nurturing a certain community that can run amok, that can, create havoc when required. She is also being disingenuous in trying to desperately project herself as a protector of Hindus, which she is not. Mamata Banerjee has the blood of 2 Hindus on her hand, the people killed in Murshidabad last year in April, and I will tell you why. Because, the series of incidents that preceded the butchering of those two Hindus, please don't barge in between if you don't have a point to make. The 2 Hindus who were killed in Murshidabad, the father-son duel last April, Arnab recall the chain of events preceding that. Mamata Banerjee was desperately, selling all kinds of misconceptions about the Waqf Amendment Act, which eventually led a certain group, a certain community, maybe the same community she was referring to kill the father and son. So Mamata Banerjee has blood on her hands. TMC, at the same time, like Firad Hakim has been fantasizing about 50% population of Bengal one day speaking Urdu. We have seen the post-poll riots in 2021, where the High Court had indicted Mamata Banerjee government. Of course, in every Ram Navami, we have seen how Mamata Banerjee propagates the idea of a Hindu area and a Muslim area. So Mamata Banerjee has revealed her sinister motives today, but at the same time, she is being pretentious and claiming to be a savior of Hindus, which she can never be. Her days are numbered. Her reverse countdown has become. This is what is evident from her speech.
Absolutely wishful thinking to him. Absolutely wishful thinking. Mamata Banerjee stands for both the Hindus, Muslims, and all communities in Bengal.
We will see.
For all communities in Bengal.
No, Niladri.
That makes her preposterous utterances all the more evil.
The worrying fact is, ladies and gentlemen,
you must ask her.
Just 1 minute. The worrying fact is, ladies and gentlemen,
if you don't have the courage to ask her which community she is referring to,
we know what
I feel sorry for you.
Which community is she referring to? The people of India need to ask Mamata Banerjee that, Mamata Banerjee, you are the Home Minister. You are the ineffective and incompetent Home Minister of Bengal. You are the Home Minister of Bengal when there have been clashes and riots in Purba Mendipur, in Murshidabad, in Sandesh Khali, in Bhatpara, in Basirhat, when homes are attacked, when there is communal tension. You, Mamata Banerjee, are the incompetent, inefficient, uncaring Home Minister of Bengal. And now she's saying that if I'm not in power, now she's saying, Omer Junaidi and Subrashta, now she's saying that one community will come together as a group and surround another community and finish it off if she is not in power. Now, I am only asking one question, Subrashta, tonight. Which community is she threatening? And which community is she threatening them with? Or is she trying to give a warning, or is she foreshadowing that if she loses the elections, then there will be communal violence in Bengal? In a way, therefore, it is an attempt to threaten Hindus in Bengal, put fear in them from either not voting, to either not vote, or to vote for her. She seems to be indicating that she and the Trinamool government is the sole standing stalwart shield between the Hindus or whatever community she is threatening and violence. Almost as if she is the hand of God. The moment her hand is lifted, one community will be targeted and Barota Bajiye Debe of that community. Now they are on the run, Subrashta. Now that this comment is going viral, it's being discussed, they are trying to avoid this. But did she say this with deliberation? Or did she say this in a moment of anger? Subrashta.
A seasoned politician like Mamata Banerjee, the only female politician in India today who has been able to stand up against, this government, will not say and use any word irresponsibly. I'm pretty sure about that. So she is pretty much, in the know-how of what the implications of those words are. and she is very clear in the line of communication that she has adopted and the target audience of those words. Arnab, it goes on to showcase three things. As a student of politics and as a student of political communication, let me tell you, firstly, it's an acknowledgement that law and order situation in Bengal has gone for a complete toss. That it is only at the mercy of that particular community who Mamata Banerjee tries to shield. It is only at the mercy of that community. So as long as that community is placated, as long as members of that community who regularly appear on television with almost a Gundaik approach, as long as they are shielded from being criticized, from hearing voices of dissent, people in this country, people in the state of West Bengal are safe. I use the word country because even if people like us come down to just show our voice of dissent, look at the kind of comments we get on social media. So one is that acknowledgement. The second is she's actually threatening both the communities. She's actually saying that it is only because of me, it is only because of the kind of policies, appeasement policies that I have adopted, that this community has the kind of the kind of courage to go and hit the other community, and vice versa. So I think it is not an innocent political speech. Also, I know I'm a nobody. I'm not a politician. I'm neither somebody who has a massive influential voice who is going to say something and people are going to run to the streets. But I think this is actually time for the youngsters of West Bengal to actually hit the streets, ensure that Mamata Banerjee is gheraued from everywhere. And this question must be asked of that, a woman chief minister. What exactly did she mean? Which community was she referring to? Who was she threatening? And who is she? Is she Jagat Dhatri? That today she can make a claim about मैं नहीं रहूंगी तो क्या होगा? ऐसी भविष्यवाणियां तो ईश्वर ने नहीं की. ऐसी भविष्यवाणियां तो कृष्ण ने नहीं की. समझती क्या है अपने आप को? And it has to be said in no uncertain terms. Speeches like this have no space in a democracy. Speeches like this should not have a say, especially in a democracy, especially in a state as polarized as the state of West Bengal, the states of Assam, where we all know the kind of toll migration has taken on socio-economic and socio-political realities. I have no idea why would anybody worth their intellectual salt defend such kind of a statement. If it would have come from, the BJP camp also, I think people like us would have actually come out in the open and said that this is wrong. This is absolutely wrong. This is a very callous political speech, and Mamata Banerjee has actually dug her own grave, political grave, by saying something like that.
Well, I mean, she's got a pattern there. But Mamata Banerjee is not only targeting Hindus, she's also targeting Muslims by saying so. Because she's projecting Muslims, if it is a Hindu-Muslim comment, she's projecting Muslims, in that case, if the reference is to Muslim as the community, because she has to clarify. Who is she referring to? Is she saying all the people of Bengal? Is she targeting the people of Bengal by saying that those who support the BJP will be targeted and barota bajiye debe by people who are, will Bangla-speaking people or original inhabitants of Bengal target outsiders? Is that what she's tried to do? Because she has tried to do this insider-outsider thing in the past. Is she targeting or talking about the Muslims of Bengal? In that case, is she trying to project the Muslims of Bengal as violent and capable of violence against the Hindu community or any community? But the point is, you can't do a hit and run, Priyanka. You can't say one thing and then say you interpret it the way you want.
This is not just fear-mongering. This is complete instigation.
No, one minute.
In the past, let me speak, please. This is complete instigation because in the past we have seen. Is your name Priyanka? No.
1 second.
Please be quiet, let me finish. So in the past we have seen that Mamata Banerjee has every time instigated these kind of Hindu-Muslim riots. Now she has seen that she has lost in the Supreme Court. Nothing can be done about the SIR. she wants that she has to target and somehow win. That is her intention. So the last thing which is left in her hand is a Hindu-Muslim riot. Ram Navami is coming. She is purposely starting all this instigation so that these two communities, there is some kind of riot against with each other. In Murshidabad also the same thing happened. When she did not allow Saraswati Puja, she did not allow Durga Puja Visarjan, then Chandan Das and Hari Govindo Das, they were killed. She kept mum. Because doesn't matter, Hindus are being killed. Doesn't matter, it doesn't hurt to her. Why it doesn't hurt? Because she says Hindu Dharma is a Ganda Dharma.
No, she said earlier, you see, one minute. She has referred to Hinduism as Ganda Dharma. She has said, I follow the religion, I follow, just 1 minute. I follow the religion of Ramakrishna Paramhans and Swami Vivekananda. I don't follow the Ganda Dharma made by the Jumla party. Now, which is that Ganda Dharma?
Hindu Dharma. Not just that,
now
she
the
also
second
said,
question she says, she also says, that I appease Muslims. One should tolerate the kick of a cow that gives milk. She says, you should tolerate the kick of a cow that gives milk. Everywhere, when she's talking about SIR, she says, they have a problem with the M in my name. Because I have an M in my name. That is also a reference everywhere to the Muslim community. She says, they have a problem with the M in my name. Earlier, on another occasion, she went to a Muslim gathering during Waqf. And she said, do you know if so many people come from the villages and sit and have muri in Kolkata? That was a clear reference to saying that if a lot of Muslims from outside Kolkata come to Kolkata, storm Kolkata, then the streets will be jammed. Now, is this the way to talk? And Umar, is she trying to frighten the Hindu community? Because it's not happening. It will only lead to counter mobilization or counter consolidation, in my view. Yes.
No, Arnab, the whole point is, if we see the video of Mamata Banerjee, who is the audience is the first question. If the audience is Hindu, only Hindu, then she might be using the Muslim community to have the threat on the Hindu community. But it is all mixed. It is a clear message. If I assume that Mamata Banerjee is addressing the Muslim community who is sitting in front of her, that you are safe because I am here. If I am not the chief minister, the Hindu community will target you. That might be the interpretation. So the whole point is, it is not Hindu-Muslim. It is TMC versus BJP. It is the...
Okay, now even if I were to say that, let me get Tuhin in on that. One second. Let me get Tuhin in on that. Okay, now, Omar, 1 point. Omar, may I please? Omar, may I, without getting excited, control yourself, calm down, breathe, anulom, vilom. My question is, Omar, there is no point getting worked up. I don't have to answer anyone, man. I don't have to answer anyone.
Is that not a threat? What was you doing at that time?
1 minute.
Arnab, मेरे एक सवाल है.
First of all, Tuhin, he has to be quiet. Then you come in, please. 1 minute.
And you question me.
Omar.
I have a question for the.
Omar, 1 minute. Omar, I repeat. I believe. 1 minute. I believe Mamata Banerjee and the government of Bengal should come out publicly saying who are the people who she was threatening and who are the people she was threatening them with. If now, Omar, will you not shout like that because it looks bad? People are watching TV tonight and saying, Arnab is so elegant, so calm, so rational, so reasonable, so full of substance. Yes. And here is one person here on the other side who is loud.
My only point is, Arnab,
out of control. Even Subrashta is smiling. My question, Omar, chillax, man. Just chill. Now, Omar, I won't listen to you. You first chill, otherwise we are not talking.
Arnab, I have.
And Tuhin, please don't. No, please. You're not Ben Johnson. Before I fired the gun, you've run. Please stop. Now listen to me. Umar, oh Baba, the man loves his own voice. Omar, let me tell you, you love your own voice. I also love my own voice, everyone. But I have a right to love my own voice, because for 20 years, The people of India have loved my voice. They haven't loved your voice for 20 years, so you keep quiet, let me talk. Now Tuhin, he's saying,
My question is,
I big-
answer my question.
He is trying to threaten everyone.
I'm not obliged to answer anyone's question.
He's doing it here on the television.
No, Tuhin.
Arnab,
First, he's got to keep quiet. People are calling, saying, reduce this audio. Yeah. So now, Tuhin, he's saying that it is she's. Oh God.
If she
has, my point being, Tuhin, just one line. Even if she has threatened BJP supporters with violence, even that is unacceptable. Because we all know what happened after her victory last time. We all know what happened in Bengal after the Trinamool won last time.
Last half an hour, in the last half an hour, we are trying to solve the puzzle of who exactly was she referring to. But since my good friend Tausif, I'm assuming, has tried to intellectualize her rabid hate mongering by saying it could be to any community. Let me just try to understand. In the Basirhat riot, in the Malda riot, North 24, South 24 Pargana, all the rioting which we have seen in the last 10 years, which community went after, which community was the oppressor, which community was the sufferer? Does he have any idea? Since he's trying to intellectualize, it could be any community.
Interpretation of what she said.
My simple question to you.
And in that quality check, I have given you 0 out of 100.
My question, try to answer my question. It will try to answer my question. It will help you clear the puzzle.
Therefore,
if you answer my question, it will only help you solve the puzzle. In the Basirhat riot, in the Malda riot, in the North 24 Pargana riot, South 24 Pargana riot, which was the community which was the community which garrowed the other community, and which was the community that suffered? If you answer this basic question, it will solve the puzzle. But you don't want to solve the puzzle because you are trying to provide cover fire to Mamata Banerjee's hate mongering.
Tuhin, you asked me a question, you please calm down. You've asked me a question, please be patient and hear me.
I have a question.
All the BJP
I have a question too.
Group and lynches a person alone. It's all Bajrang Dal or Karni Sena or people like them. All hate mongers. They come in
in Delhi,
surround a person,
in Delhi,
beat him.
In Delhi, a gentleman called 25-year-old boy called Tarun was killed because one of his family members, a kid, by mistake applied or
let me into this debate. Tuhin, let me into the debate. Tuhin and Tausif, I want to bring 1 minute, just. Just give me 30 seconds, Tausif. Just give me 30 seconds, Tausif. Give me 30 seconds, Tausif. Last year...
Did you find the puzzle solved?
Yeah.
Arnab, I'm asking you.
You asked me, have you finished? Yeah, I've solved the puzzle and I'm replying to you now.
How in all the BJP ruled state, a group of Bajrang Dal and Karni Sena and those...
Why are you repeating yourself?
They surround one person.
So don't repeat yourself. I've understood the question.
BJP ruled 25
let me handle that. Subrashta is on the debate. Subrashta, everyone on, please, for a moment.
Family members wanted...
I am absolutely disappointed with Tausif's
Not a word against the mob lynching that is happening in BJP.
Debate after debate to just derail the conversation. Today the conversation is about Mamata Banerjee.
Subrashta, louder.
You have a problem. Did any chief minister, whatever you are referring to, did any chief minister make a statement like that? That if you don't vote me back to power, there is a certain community who is going to finish you off. Please don't intellectualize and please don't compare apples and oranges. Of course there's polarization in society. Of course there's communalization in society, and people like us stand up against it. But what is this attitude of Umar and Ghosh to just intellect? You know what, Tausif, you're not doing your community a favor by doing this. And neither is Umar doing his community a favor by doing this. People like you should have come out in the open and said we denounce Mamata Banerjee's statement, and we stand up for the right of every citizen of Bengal. I'm not asking you to take a position for Hindus. Umar, don't try to mansplain, and B, don't try to go aggressive on a woman verbally on national television. This doesn't go well. The kind of branding that your community is receiving in West Bengal. Please, and don't go around those tactics.
No victimization. No drama, please. No
please
drama.
do not. I'm telling you, do not do that. Because if I begin to answer you in the same coin, it will be a problem. And both Tausif and you will run cover to cover. Please do not instigate me like that. I'm sorry, I'm not here sitting at a rally speech. I am here as a panelist.
No.
To give you
No, don't get instigated, Subrashta. Umar, first of all, to all you people, Samvidhan khatre mein hai, Muslim khatre mein hai, I want to say one thing to you, that today it is March 2026.
No, Muslim khatre mein.
Okay, I am saying Hindu khatre mein hai in Bengal.
That is
no one said.
No, but I am saying Hindu khatre mein hai ki nahi hai in Bengal.
It is always BJP who says Hindu khatre.
No, but Hindu khatre mein hai ki nahi in Bengal. Now I ask you this question. I ask you this question. Who is Horogobindo Das?
This is the
1 minute. Priyanka. Now see how he runs. They'll all run. Who is Horogobindo Das? Everyone. Who is Chandan Das?
Who is the clerk?
Can you also name?
Who is Chandan Das? Who is Horogobindo Das? What happened in Murshidabad in April 2025? And did a Calcutta High Court order not acknowledge the presence of a Trinamool Congress leader at the site of the violence? Was it not communal violence?
Yes.
Where is Najib?
Arnab, the petition was filed by me for the Murshidabad riots.
In that case, was there not a Calcutta High Court report? Did the report not explicitly mention that the West Bengal police did not respond to calls from the locals during the violence?
Yes. And the CCTV footage also recorded the TMC leader being present when the violence was being done. Now they are saying which community? What is the puzzle? Which community? Are Muslims afraid or scared in Bengal? No. It is the Hindus who are scared. So the puzzle is solved.
In that case, Muslims are scared in entire country.
Now listen, no chief minister has said that, but this chief minister has said, and you are saying that it is a puzzle. It is a puzzle when the chief minister is saying that one community will come and attack. What is the puzzle? It is the Hindus who are scared. It is the Hindus who are being made to be scared. It is, see, from your smile only we can understand that you are not scared. You are ready to lynch one community. You are ready to lynch one community. That is exactly what the CM has said. And we have heard her clear. We have heard her clear. That is why we are saying that we are scared under this particular CM, who is not the CM of the people of West Bengal. She is the CM of only one particular community, and that is the Muslims. And that is the Muslims.
Who is being lynched?
Do not try and scare us on television. Your CM is already trying to scare us a lot, right? Your CM is already trying to do this fear mongering. You don't do it on the television. You don't do it on the television because I am not that Hindu who will be scared. I am not that category of Hindu who will be scared, and better know that. So if the CM, whatever she's saying, that one particular community will be there.
I'm
it is for people like Niladri. It is for people like Niladri who are trying to be secular Hindus. Secular Hindus like Niladri, you need to be worried. It is, and that fear is there on Niladri's face today. That fear is there in Niladri's face today. Niladri, I have read your face today. I have read your face today. That fear is there on your face today. You cannot hide that fear today. You cannot hide that fear today. See, that time has come. The time has come. Every time I was again and again trying to tell you that, see, Niladri, you are a Bengali Hindu, you are sitting on a time bomb. We were telling you again and again, and then you were saying, no, BJP is a party which, does, is not secular. You were there for secularism. Now see that time bomb, it is about to explode. Mamata Banerjee has given you, she has given you a warning that Bengali Hindus like you will be lynched. She has given that warning from the stage, and it will happen because the elections are coming. Mamata Banerjee wants that there is a riot between Hindus and Bengalis. Mamata Banerjee wants that the Hindu Bengalis are targeted by the Muslims. That exactly happened in Murshidabad. She made an announcement, and then the riot took place, and it was the Hindus. It was the Hindus who had to be the sufferers. They had to face the suffering. And then the CM says that writers don't have a religion. Then the CM says that writers don't have a religion. But then who is this religion about She's trying to scare the Hindus.
Okay, one minute. There is a backdrop of this. There is a backdrop to this. Niladri, I want to bring in Tuhin and everyone. Let's first acknowledge that there is a backdrop to this. In March 2023, during a peaceful Ram Navami procession in Howrah Police Commissionerate, there were attacks on people in the procession from individuals from a particular community. There was stone pelting. Please understand.
Raniganj.
Please remember the violence against Hindu women in Sandesh Khali. Please remember Shah Jahan Sheikh was accused of gang rape. Please remember Mahesh Tala. Please remember the post-poll violence. And I would condemn it if Mamata Banerjee, regardless of Hindu or Muslim, if she's warning anyone like this before an election, it shows how insecure she is this time. Tuhin, she's very, very insecure.
You know, Arnab, I'm glad you have, spelled out the last few 6-7 instances, because, that solves the puzzle. Which community was the aggressor and which community was the victim? This puts everything in context. Mamata Banerjee, imagine her vile intent. She was basically asking for votes in lieu of protection. Are things so bad in Bengal for Hindus? Of course it is. And Mamata Banerjee is confessing and admitting to it. This is how precarious the situation for Hindus is in Bengal. And, I think we need to thank Mamata Banerjee. We need to thank Mamata Banerjee for accepting it openly in a moment of indiscretion. These indiscretion happen when you know that the ground below your feet are slipping away. 2 days ago, Mahua Moitra was giving certificates to Bengalis. Who is a Bengali, who is not, depending on which side you vote for. This shows the frustration of TMC. This shows the days are numbered. This shows the reverse countdown has begun.
As your minister was selling citizenship certificates for 200 rupees in Vodka, Shantanu Thakur.
No, I think, ladies and gentlemen, Mamata Banerjee must be honest. She should issue a statement. She should clarify who she was threatening. She should clarify who she was threatening and who she was threatening them with. If she cannot clarify that, then appropriate legal action should be taken against her, because any language of threat is most inappropriate. Ladies and gentlemen, now we've been talking of the war, and I'll tell you why I feel, when I come out of the break, why I am absolutely convinced that Trump is cornered and he's begun to change the goalpost. In short, as of tonight, with no regime change in sight, he's on the losing side. When I'm back.
Time for a quick breather.
प्यास बुझाए ठंडक लाए सबको भाए जीरा से MTH का जलजीरा जीरा से
जीरा से असली रिफ्रेशिंग, असली स्वाद, असली मजा।